Hello students, I Pallav Darbari welcome you all in my YouTube channel Pallav Darbari Classes. In this video I will discuss Macroeconomics class 12th. The name of the chapter is National Income Accounting. This is my 11th video on the topic National Income Accounting. In this video I will discuss expenditure method to calculate national income. We know that we are having three methods to calculate national income, that is the value added method, income method and the expenditure method. Value added method I have already discussed. Income method I have discussed in video 10th, and in the video 11 I will discuss expenditure method. Let us start the class. Let us see the meaning of national income by the expenditure method. According to the expenditure method, national income is the sum total of the expenditure incurred on final goods and services produced in an economy during a period of 1 year. In a very simple word, we can say that in the case of the expenditure method, the expenditure or the sum total of the expenditure on final goods and services on the goods or services produced in the country during a period of 1 year is considered to calculate the national income. What is national income according to the expenditure method? According to the expenditure method, national income is the sum total of the expenditure incurred on the consumption of final goods and services produced in an economy during a period of 1 year. I hope the definition is clear. According to the expenditure method, income can be calculated by the summation of three types of expenditures. The first one is gross final consumption expenditure. Second one is gross domestic. Capital formation. And the third one is net export. By the summation of these three types of expenditure, we can calculate, or the person can calculate, the national income. I hope the point is clear. We will discuss all these components of the expenditure one by one in detail. Let us discuss the final consumption expenditure. Always remember, the final consumption expenditure is of two types. First one is called the private final consumption expenditure and the other one is called the government final consumption expenditure. The question is, what is this private final consumption expenditure and what is this government final consumption expenditure? Let us see. When I say private final consumption expenditure, it means the expenditure incurred by all the individuals or the household or other not-for-profit organization on final goods and services. These goods might be the durable goods or it can be the non-durable goods and services. So when I say private final consumption expenditure, it means that the expenditure incurred by the individual, by the household, by the non-for-profit organization on final goods and services. Clear? Always remember, the goods purchased by the resident living in abroad is also considered at the time of calculating the national income through the expenditure method. Always remember, in the case of the durable or the non-durable goods, we consider all the product produced currently in the country. We also consider the consumption paid by the employees. We also consider the gifts received in kind. We also consider the value of the product retained for self-consumption. Imputed rent of the owner-occupied house is also considered. Now let us discuss the government final consumption expenditure. Government final consumption expenditure refers to the expenditure incurred by the government on final goods and services. Always remember, there are the following three types of the final consumption expenditure which the government incur. The first one is compensation of the employees paid by the government. Under the first final consumption expenditure, we consider the compensation, we consider the money which the government is paying to the employees for rendering services. Second is, we also consider the goods purchased from abroad by the government because government is incurring the expenditure. Third is, we consider the government's purchase on the final goods and services for the domestic market. So whenever we are talking about the government final consumption expenditure, we consider the expenditure on the following three items. I hope the point is clear. Now let us see the next component. The second component is gross domestic capital formation. The other name of the gross domestic capital formation is investment expenditure. What is the other name? The other name is investment expenditure. We know that every producers purchase final goods and services. Why they are purchasing the final goods and services? So that they can avail the benefits in the future. So investment on final goods and services by the producers, by the government, by the household, so that they can avail the benefits or they can earn huge profit in the near future is called investment expenditure or gross domestic capital formation. Investment expenditure can further be categorized into two categories. What are those two categories? Let us see. Those two categories are: number one, gross domestic fixed capital formation, fixed capital formation. That is the first one. Gross domestic fixed capital formation consists of what? It consists of the investment made by household, investment made by government, and it also consider the investment made by firm. Always remember, the investment made by the household is in the form of property. Investment made by the government is in the form of infrastructure, for example, dam, bridges, etc. Investment made by the firm is on fixed assets like machineries, building, etc. So the first components which comes under the gross domestic capital formation is gross domestic fixed capital formation, and the second one is, this is the first one, this is the second one is change in stock. When I say change in stock, the other name of the change in stock is inventory investment. Inventory investment refers to the total value of the changes in the stock during the accounting year. In a very simple word, we can say change in stock means what? It means closing stock minus opening stock. In a technical language, we can say that it is the value of change in the stock during the accounting year. The next component of the expenditure is net export. Net export means what? It refers to the difference. It refers to what? It refers to the difference between the total export and the total import. The question is, what is export? It refers to the sale of domestically produced final goods and services to rest of the world. RO means rest of the world. And import means what? It means purchase of final goods and services from rest of the world. Here we consider net export. It means value of export minus value of import. Now let us see the steps that we follow to calculate the national income by opting the expenditure method. The first step that we follow is we calculate the GDP-MP. The question is how to calculate the GDP-MP by the summation of three items, that is gross final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation third is net export so the first step is calculate the GDP-MP. Second step is determined domestic income. The question is how to determine domestic income. By deducting depreciation from the GDP-MP and net indirect taxes. So the first step is calculate GDP-MP. Second step is determine domestic income. And the third step is determine the value of NFIA. How to find out the value of NFIA? By the difference of FIFA minus theta, and then determine national income. How? By adding net FIA in the domestic income. So to determine the national income by the expenditure method, we follow three steps. The first one is finding out the value of the GDP-MP, then finding out the value of domestic income, then finally finding out the value of NFIA, and use the NFIA in the NDPFC domestic income to calculate the national income. I hope the point is clear. Now let us discuss the precautions that one has to consider at the time of calculating the national income by the expenditure method. One has to consider following precautions. The first one is expenditure on final goods and services should be included, while intermediate consumption should not be considered. It means only the expenditure on final goods and services should be considered, and we don't have to consider the intermediate consumption. That is the precaution number one. Second precaution is that the expenditure on the purchase of second-hand goods should not be included. Why should not be included? Because it is already considered in the year it was produced. Third precaution is expenditure on shares and bonds is not included in the expenditure method. Why? Because these are mere financial assets. They do not reflect the production activity. They are the financial asset. They do not reflect what? Production expenditure. Clear? Under the expenditure method, we only consider those activities which lead to the production. So it is nothing but a financial assets and it does not reflect production activity. So the expenditure on shares and bonds are not considered. The second precaution that I have to take is the imputed value of goods and services for self-consumptions are considered. Fifth precaution is that the transfer payment by the government should not be included. Why? Because transfer payment will not reflect any production activity, so the expenditure on the transfer payment incurred by the government is not considered. Dear viewers, that's all I have in this video. If you like the video, spread the video as much as you can. During this pandemic time period, I request please stay home, stay safe, and above all, don't forget to wear mask. Om Shanti.